We're here in the seaside town of Ayr to ask the public what they think of their small town. Is it as good or as bad as other towns in the nation? What do they think could be improved? What do they think the government needs to do to help them? And what do they like about it? The town of Ayr sits on the west coast of Scotland, looking out on the Firth of Clyde. Like many towns in the UK, it has seen a steady decline in its central infrastructure, with many stores closing and being left to ruin. In this short documentary, we wanted to highlight the High Street of Ayr and interview locals and business owners on what they believe caused the gradual decline over the years and what steps need to be taken to help revive the heart of the town. We're here with Danella. She is a business owner in Ayr, and we would just like to ask you, what do you like about Ayr?
I have lived in Ayr all my life and I love Ayr. I mean, I genuinely do. I love the town that it is. I love the seaside. I love living by the coast. I've obviously been connected to it for the whole of my life. So yes, I do. I absolutely love Ayr.
There's a lot of historical value in the town as
There
well,
is.
isn't there? Do you
Yeah.
appreciate that as well?
Yeah, there is a lot of historical value. Sometimes when you live in a place, you don't appreciate it as much or you don't embrace it as much. But yes, it's lovely. And I think for people coming in, it's really important to have the historical side of it as well. I mean, obviously Robert Burns Centre, all these things are vitally important.
Definitely.
As well as having what's down there, like Wallace Tower, all these things are really vitally important.
As a business owner yourself, do you feel as though there's been maybe a decline in the quality of just the public space?
Yeah, I mean, Ayr used to be a town full of shops that people would flock to because it was beside the sea and it was a lovely town that you could come and do shopping in. Obviously, that has gone to a big extent. You know, a lot of the shops are now gone. The town is a bit tired. Sometimes I think if we ourselves invest in what we've got and try and keep it nice, it will still bring people in. Things like, I mean, I'm regularly sweeping the street in front of the shop that we're in. We try and keep it nice and tidy. Just try and value where we are and the space we're in. And I do understand that councils are struggling for money and things like that, so they're not always able to do it. And I think if business owners and council, if we could work together to try and keep things together, it would maybe help a wee bit.
Would you say the likes of Brexit and then obviously the COVID pandemic had a big impact on that sort of stuff?
Oh, definitely. There's no doubt about it. Brexit was always going to be that. It was a change. It was a massive change. Whether you embraced it or didn't embrace it, it was going to affect everybody. But straight on the back of that, to have been hit by COVID, I mean, has completely floored so many people. And obviously there are businesses that could not survive that. But society has changed. People have gone from wanting to be out and about, wanting to, go into shops, to doing everything online, to staying at home, working at home. All these things have changed, and it's trying to maybe change back again can be quite tough at times. So yeah, it definitely has had an effect.
I don't think it's got anything to do with COVID. It was happening well before COVID.
Yeah.
So I think the start of it was probably C&A pulling out of the High Street, and that was about 20 years ago.
At least.
Probably slightly more than 20 years ago. That was the start of it, and then
The
there's
big
been
high street store going, and then the others followed. BHS, Littlewoods.
there's been a lack of foresight, and then Houston's, which you can see up the road there, has gone as well. But
Another mistake was moving everything up to the new centre here, and that decimated this end of the high street. And now that hasn't worked either, so it's half empty. So we just don't seem to get it right.
and then they built the new retail park out at Heathfield, and it struggled for quite a few years. Then all of a sudden, it's flourished, and it's now far better than the High Street to go to, which is a shame because the High Street's where you want it to be, not out in a retail park. No.
We often say, why is Prestwick so successful? Because we were the same as Prestwick, and it's managed to maintain that bustling, thriving,
Yes.
and it's a community Prestwick. The shop owners all know each other, they stick together. Here, I think the rent and the rates for the shops are far too expensive, and that puts people off. But yeah, I think the council could be responsible. They demolished half the bottom of the high street, and now we've got a lovely
We're supposed to
monoblock
be building
area.
council buildings, and then that was all cancelled.
But it's cost us millions in fees, architects' fees, and that's all not come to anything other than that lovely monoblocked area.
So the investments that have been put in have been almost mismanaged, you would say, yes?
Completely
Yeah, in our
mismanaged, bad
opinion, you know.
decisions, Bad decisions.
We're here with Nicola. She works in Ayr and she is born and bred, yes?
Born and bred.
Loving it.
Born and bred. Ayrshire lassie through and through.
Awesome. And what is it that you kind of like about the town?
It's just a town that I've always grown up in. When I was younger, I was always in the town. I've always worked. Originally it was Thomas Cook down the High Street, and then Thomas Cook went down the Swanee and we get taken in by Hayes Travelling Ayr. I wouldn't work in any other town because I really don't know it.
Obviously you've worked in Ayr, you've lived in Ayr your whole life. Would you say there's been a decline in the quality of the town over the last few years?
Certainly, and it's all to do with the rates of this part here. Ending in the High Street, the rates are just extortionate, hence why you're getting a lot of businesses that are closing. Elamani, for instance, has moved from here and they're over there, and it's all to do with the rates. It's too high a rates for people to come in and set up business and keep it going.
Would you believe that the government needs to do a little bit more to maybe, or at very least the
Revitalise
council,
it.
very
Yeah.
much needs to put a little bit more emphasis on the town centre?
Definitely, to get people back, parking especially in here, that is our biggest downfall is parking. People will go to Silverman. The thing is as well, they like to have things all under the one building. They like your central there. They need to start getting more shops in to entice the people back. They need to look at the car parking as well, because car parking is a big thing in here.
There's a lot of other places where parking is free, like Heathfield Retail Park and big retail parks as well. We've also been hearing about the sort of layout of the town. The one-way system might be a little bit convoluted. It's
Yeah.
not as easy as to access as
That's
other
right.
places. Would you agree with that?
Definitely agree with it. I mean, it probably would have been late 1980s. We could use access up and down the town until they changed it to the one way, and it's definitely put another dampener on the town of Ayr as well.
Is there any renovations or like new additions to the town that you've quite enjoyed seeing?
My shop has been sitting there for about 20 odd years. The same old building, and we've just had a total revamp 2 weeks ago, and it's a lovely, beautiful shop. So we just need the other businesses to see if they can get the money and get nice new facings and nice new plants to entice people to come to Ayr.
Definitely. Thanks again for taking the time to talk to us
You're
today.
very welcome, darling. You enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Thanks
All
again.
right.
While the town centre may have seen a decline over the years, the spirit of the people who live and work in Ayr remains strong. We are thankful to all who took the time to chat to us about their town, and we hope that Ayr High Street sees more investment in the future.